welcome to Riscoprire la Mesopotamia. This episode, the first one in English in our channel, was recorded at the 69th Rencontre Assyriologique Internationale in Helsinki, where we asked some students and young scholars why they chose Assyriology or more in general the ancient Near East. These are their answers. Enjoy.
My name is Piotr Zadworny. I recently finished my MA in Assyriology in Leiden, and now I'm a PhD candidate in Berlin. I originally started Assyriology because I was interested in making beer, actually. And I found a really cool paper by Peter Damerow. I think it's his last paper, actually, and he wrote a great overview on brewing technologies in Mesopotamia. And this was the first paper I ever read about Assyriology that made me understand there is such a thing as Assyriology. And it was my hobby for some time. And then later, when I figured out you can study this, I decided to try.
My name is Victoria Birkner, and I am studying in the University of Innsbruck for my master's. I chose to study Assyriology because there are a lot of travel opportunities and because you get to find out more about old cultures and that these people were in so many ways so different from us now, but also in other ways just so similar in their concerns and their hobbies and everything they are doing all day.
I'm Gina Habets. I'm a master's student in Munich and I got into Assyriology because my friend was always telling me these really nice stories about her Akkadian classes. I was actually in another university, I was studying linguistics and I had to take some elective course and I thought, okay, why not Akkadian? And after one semester of Akkadian, I thought, maybe I want to do this for the rest of my life. So I asked my teacher what I should do. And she said Munich is the place. So that's where I am now.
I'm Nicole Landine. I'm a PhD student at the University of Vienna. And I got into Assyriology because I actually used to be a journalist and they closed my bureau. So I took some time to read all the books I wanted to read. And I read the Penguin edition of the Gilgamesh epic, and in the introduction they said they had all these tablets in the museums and not enough people to read them, and I thought it'd be really interesting to learn Akkadian, and so I looked up to see if there was a program at the University of Vienna and started and intended just to take a couple classes, and now I'm doing a PhD, so yeah.
Hi, my name is Letizia Savino. I'm a PhD candidate at the University of Mainz. My first encounter with the ancient Near East happened during my very first semester as a BA student at the University of Turin. And it was all thanks to Professor Stefano De Martino, who made me fall in love with the subject of ancient Near Eastern history. And then I had the pleasure and the honor to make my BA and MA thesis with Professor Elena De Vecchi, who drove me to the path of Assyriology, so of ancient languages, cuneiform languages. And my interest is in medical knowledge, and I love ancient languages, so I think it was natural to come to this path, moving from ancient history and archaeology. And to me, the ancient Near East is really a way to explore human aspects of the society and how we think about knowledge and how we think about ourselves as humans and how this has basically been the same from 3,000 years before the Common Era to nowadays. And being able to read an ancient text that hasn't been explored and read for thousands of years is really thrilling and exciting, just like in the meme with Gandalf. So yeah, this is my reason for staying.
Hi, I'm Eleanor Home. I'm a PhD student at UCL and I study determinatives in Hittite texts. Why the ancient Near East? Because it's just incredibly fun, and why not?
I'm Adam Howe. I work at the Philipps Universität Marburg and I specialize in ancient Mesopotamian magical texts and ritual texts from the first millennium BC. And I really love these magical texts because they give you insights into different ways of dealing with scary and dangerous things in the world, things that we still experience, falling ill, scary things happening, losing control of your life, losing money. And it's interesting to see different ways of dealing with these. In Mesopotamia, that could be by pinning those onto a demon and performing a ritual to destroy the demon.
My name is Nicholas Gill. I'm a postdoc studying Assyriology at Ca' University in Venice. I like to study the ancient Near East because I really liked reading fantasy novels growing up. And in my work, I study ancient incantations and magic. And so my work is essentially like reading a fantasy novel every single day with gods and heroes and magic battles. And I think that's the best thing that you can have in a job.
My name is Marco Vitas. I'm an incoming postdoctoral research fellow in École Pratique des Hautes Études in Paris. I work at the intersection of classics and Assyriology. I find the ancient Near East and Mesopotamia extremely interesting because there are so many similar questions, so many similar motifs, mythological and literary tropes that we find in my primary area of interest, which is the Greek literature. This is why I started to study the ancient Near East, because I wanted to see what is going on, whether we are dealing with a cultural contact that yielded a transfer from one culture to another, or whether we are really dealing with a common literary and cultural community that existed in ancient Eastern Mediterranean in the late Bronze and the Iron Age.
My name is Mark Flores. I'm a PhD candidate at Johns Hopkins University, and I work with Sumerian literary texts. What fascinated me about the ancient Near East was its writing. Cuneiform writing is the first tested writing in human history, together with Egyptian writing, and just the shape of these forms, which are impressed on clay tablets with a stylus. It just caught my eye, and I was very curious of what kind of texts were written in this script. And then I also discovered that cuneiform records the first written language of human history, which is Sumerian, which is a language that is not related to any other language that exists today, as far as we know. So all this mystery surrounding this language and this first script that looks so alien to me, it's what made me passionate about the ancient Near East, and especially ancient Iraq. So that got me into the discipline, and then when I discovered that there were these strange literary texts where gods do the weirdest things, I was just enchanted, and I just kept with it, studying it, and now it's my specialization. So that is why I love the ancient Near East.